Welcome to the Nintendo Power Zone, and this is Wild Odyssey. In 2017, Nintendo released two games that both have a rightful claim for the Game of the Year award. Both games have been critically and commercially successful and have sparked a debate. Which game is better? Our goal here with Wild Odyssey is to break the games down into multiple categories and place them head to head against one another to determine once and for all which game deserves the title of Game of the Year. Welcome to the finale of Wild Odyssey. When we began Wild Odyssey, we set out with one true goal, to determine once and for all which game was better, Super Mario Odyssey or The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. We did this by breaking the games down into the following categories: story and characters, music and sound, gameplay and controls, collectible and extras, and the portable aspect. 5 categories, and odd numbers so that it would be difficult for there to be the unlikely scenario of a draw. As it would turn out, we did end in a draw, which in a sense almost seems fitting. Both of these games have an aggregate score of 97 on Metacritic, a perpetual tie, no game claiming victory over the other. But what does that really mean? It means that even if you place these games under a microscope as we have, the numbers in the categories won't necessarily draw you to conclusive results. Even when being objective is the objective, it's hard to separate personal bias. Each one of us was given categories in which to dissect in as thorough a method as possible, and yet at the end of the day, we each relied on a personal bias to come to a conclusion for that category. Which story did I prefer? Which game had the better music and sound? These categories are subjective to our opinions, and I can personally tell you that as I edited all of these episodes, I had different opinions to that of the other narrators, but as I listened to their arguments for each category, I can find no fault in their reasoning. I could only chalk it up to our differing personal biases. I know a lot of people have spent the last 6 weeks with us awaiting a definitive victory, and you may think it a cop-out to tell you that both of these games are near perfect. The fact of the matter is that they are, and our inability to draw a conclusion highlights that. In 2017, Nintendo released what many would consider to be each series' magnum opus. To say that Breath of the Wild is better than Super Mario Odyssey is to say that Leonardo's Mona Lisa is better than Michelangelo's Statue of David. We don't compare art that way. We simply classify both pieces of work as masterpieces. Instead of trying to come up with a definitive answer as to which is the better game, maybe we should just simply classify them as they are: masterpieces. We hope you all enjoyed this in-depth comparison of The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild and Super Mario Odyssey. Wild Odyssey is the most ambitious project that has ever been undertaken here at the Nintendo Power Zone, but the staff poured their hearts into this project and it shows, in my opinion. You can literally hear the hours of work that went into this production, and I honestly believe that this was the best way for us to kick off 2018 here at the Nintendo Power Zone. Now, I know a lot of people may not be satisfied with the series ending, so for those people, here's every member of the Game Masters Council telling you which game they like the best. Hey, what up everybody, it's your boy Nice1983, and I'm here to tell you that my favorite game on the Nintendo Switch this year was Super Mario Odyssey. I loved everything about that game. I love the colors, I love the graphics of that game. It truly is a beautiful game. I love the story, and I love the fact that at the end of the game that Princess Peach rebuffs even Mario. It just shows how strong-willed of a character she has become since her initial inception. So it's like the character has evolved over the 30 plus years that she's been around. So I thought that was really cool to see. She's just not your average damsel in distress anymore. And that's really important for a character like that. It's important for females to see a character like that. Yeah, she may needed to be saved, but she wasn't about to let the fact that Mario saved her be the thing that defines her. So that was really cool. Outside of that, the bosses were fun. I loved the openness of the whole game. I just thought it was a brilliantly designed game from top to bottom, and it's one of the few games that I got to play this year that made me smile from the moment I turned it on to the moment I completed the game. It was definitely worth every single minute I spent playing it. I loved Breath of the Wild as well, but Breath of the Wild, its difficulty spike, it starts off a little too hard, and then it just gets way too easy by the end of the game. I like the build-up that Mario Odyssey had, where the levels get a little bit harder, as you progress through the game. I wish Breath of the Wild had a higher difficulty spike at the end versus in the beginning. It just seems like Link has way too many skills in the beginning of that game, even though you pretty much just start off naked with a stick. It feels like the enemies are too powerful in the beginning, and by the end of the game they're just not up to par. Anyway guys, I loved both of these games, but like I said, I gotta give it hands down to Super Mario Odyssey. Everybody on the staff did a great job of making that. And guys, I really hope you enjoyed this series. This was something that we never would have attempted until we got this new staff, and I can't wait to find out what they actually picked as their game of the year. So let's go ahead and send it on over to them. Alright, deuces.